the ancient sea and return to old ground.
Heave-ho! Heave! Pom-Pom's been cleaning up this whole time and didn't... What? Don't scare Pom-Pom like that! What does the letter say? It looks like an invitation. Who could have sent it? Does Don...
I highly doubt Don Hong's enemy would send an...
Why don't you show Don Hong the letter? You know where to find him.
What is it? There's no signature. And it doesn't mention a time or place. Unfortunately, I'm going to disappoint them. Thanks, but I don't even know where to start. Let me hold on to the letter. Anything related to Dan Feng's past should be handled with care. Just as I thought. There was more than met the eye. But if he didn't send the letter... Maybe I should make a trip to the seat of Divine Force.
After all this time away from the Luofu, the seat of divine foresight has only become more hostile. Relax, you needn't be so cautious, young man. I'm just reminiscing about the old days. However, I never thought Jing Yuan would send you to accompany me. It would seem our fates are intertwined.
Huh?
I've got my work cut out for me today. Well, if it isn't Don Hong.
Greetings. I need to speak to the General about something.
Looking for compensation for the injuries I gave you? I accept full responsibility.
That won't be necessary. The Cloud Knights were doing their duty.
You came at a bad time. The General is busy with urgent work. You probably won't be able to meet with him today.
No. If the General...
You don't remember her? I see. That is Jing Liu, the previous sword champion of the Xianzhou Luofu. She was the closest friend of Imbibitor Lune, your previous... According to records of wars past, her blade has slain countless denizens of abundance. Not even the feather guards of the Wing Weaver, the father wolf of the Borazon, or the gigantic mech. However, those are ancient stories. It's a shame that even a hero like her wasn't able to break free of Mara. It is said that in the end, with her powers, you'd think there would be no one capable of bringing her in. For some reason, she arrived on the Luofu. Her surrender came with one condition: that she be allowed a day of freedom before the trial. She wanted to travel to Scale Gorge Waterscape and meet with her old friends one lap before he left. He ordered us to accompany Jing Liu during her last day on the Luofu.
Imbibitor Lunae, since you traveled all this way, why don't you come and talk? Or should I call you by your name in this lifetime? When I left the Xianzhou, I heard they took away your scales and horns, forced you into a hatching rebirth. I thought Imbibitor Lunae had been wiped from this world. But then I returned to the Luofu and watched.
The life of Imbibitor Lunae ended. I
understand. The sins of a past life should be forgiven after rebirth. Now you are a nameless. If my guess is correct, the preceptors were unwilling to allow the Ichor line to end and hoped for the Imbibitor Lunae's resurrection.
Imbibitor Lunae's actions affected many.
I, too, am a criminal. I returned to the Luofu. I did, however, have one request before the trial. Jing Yuan has always been...
So...
The sea's depths conceal no stone, and dragons' breaths reveal the moon. The scene, but as a suspect, shouldn't I be bound and interrogated in the shackling prison? Is it really appropriate to bring me to a place like this, Jet?
Holding you in the shackling prison would be more trouble than it's worth. For security purposes, we will be...
For security purposes?
The Stellaron's descent, the Ambrosial Arbor's resurrection, the Destruction Emanator's impersonation of the Amicassator. According to the Skyfaring Commission's investigations, you arrived on the Luofu with a group of merchants, but didn't make a single trade during your... You took advantage of the chaos to sneak into the shackling prison, but seemingly took no course of action. Now you claim that you are Your behavior truly is puzzling. I can't seem to piece together.
I was asked to deliver a token in my capacity as a traveling merchant. I knew nothing of its significance. I admit I did have my own It is through fear of punishment that I am choosing to surrender. The galaxy is a vast place, but...
Merely a wanderer. You're too modest, Locha. Do I need to remind you of your actions at the Eternity, or must I utter that tongue twister of a name?
Well, they don't call you the...
You flatter me. Fortunately, I did my research.
Seeing that you sense something is amiss, are you...
That is beyond my control. Attempting to undermine the Alliance is a grave crime. According to... However, at present, you have the opportunity to enjoy the beautiful scenery.
She told me that the High Cloud the unparalleled sword techniques of your master, the mesmerizing cloud hymn magic of Imbibitor Lunae Danfeng, The five of you vanquished evil from the world, creating legendary tales in your wake. You removed me from the shackling prison and decided to interrogate me here. You wish to discuss the one person you've avoided mentioning up to now. Your master, Jing Liu.
We can head out now. I would like to visit a few places from...
Have you mistaken yourself for a tourist?
I would make a wonderful tourist. Lower your guard, young man. I have already surrendered myself to the Alliance. Imbibitor Lune, you must accompany me. I won't take no for an answer, regardless of...
Lead the way.
Where should we start? Should we go to Stargazer Navalia first, or to the Artisanship Commission? So many memories are swirling inside my head. I can't get a grasp on any of them. When the people of the Xianzhou live to be more than 1,000 years old, each day is like carrying the weight of a mountain.
How hard is it to choose a destination? We're going to Stargazer Navalia.
The young are the antidote. Stargazer Navalia it is.
If it's star skiffs you wanted to see, we could have headed to the Jade Gate.
Young man, have you ever heard of Baihung, the fox?
Baihung. Huh.
The star skiff won't hold much longer. High Elder, catch us before it falls apart!
Imbibitor Lune, if memories are
I think she was one of Imbibitor.
She was a comrade and friend. Well, that's all in the past now. The reason...
Huh? You mean the Foxian soul-soothing ceremony?
Yes, the sending off of a star skiff. It represents the voyage of the deceased into... As for procuring a star skiff, I know they can be many...
I see. Follow me. I don't know anything about manufacturing star skiffs either. But getting these... Careful. There's still Stellaron spirits lurking around.
No need to worry about the two of us.
There it is. Right. Who goes there?
We've arrived. All ship production in Stargazer Navalia starts here. Just enter the command into the device. The vessel used to cultivate starskiff seeds will be activated. In a ship... I remember now. I've seen Baihung's name in books before.
You like to read?
Hey, I don't read much, but the General forced me to finish a bunch of ancient volumes during my training. I remember one called Views of the Universe from a Star Skiff.
That's right. Baihung was the...
It was actually really interesting. 90% of it was about starskiff crashes on different worlds and dangerous situations. I remember thinking, how could an ace pilot crash land her starskiff so many times? Then I realized that every time, she made the best of the situation. And
indeed, her luck always astonished us. Whenever she piloted a mission, you could almost guarantee a narrow escape from the jaws of some, but very few star skiffs she piloted were able to return to port in one piece. The folk, she also possessed an uncanny ability to predict future events, inauspicious ones at least. Every ill omen that came up, however, when it came to surviving, her fortunes were incredible. Even luck is a type of strength, after all. I hope that this ship...
Ha! That'll do it. The Starskiff assembly line has been activated. The Starskiff will take shape and enter the skyport. Let's go wait for it there. It won't be long.
Thank you, young man.
See? The Starskiff is complete!
After being away from the Lafu for so long,
So, what happened to Baihang?
in the end, I do not think the details are necessary. In Bibiter Lunae, do you still remember?
I can't remember.
Let me refresh your memory. During that battle, Baihang, being the head, she charged ahead and shattered the enemy's defenses, allowing the Xianzhou soldiers to break through Shuhu's sanguinary abyss and awaken you from your dragons for the Cloud Knights. Giving up one's life on the battlefield is an honor. You couldn't accept that Baihang was gone, instead of leaving her to eternity. There is no need to respond in Bibiter Lunae. Baihang, I've brought your flagon. This was a gift handmade by him, though he never... I'm sorry it took so long for me to find it. Only by bringing it to you will my nightmares be calmed. I will fulfill what you asked of me. I will keep my word, even if it requires me to cut down the stars in the... Let's go. The Artisanship Commission. Since the Arbor's resurrection, the land has been crawling.
The crisis happened too suddenly. All the craftsmen and apprentices fled. Only a single master craftsman was left to hold the line.
Interesting. Stubborn beyond valuing his own life. That reminds me of an extremely arrogant acquaintance.
What's that supposed to mean? What's wrong with saving your own life and waiting for the Cloud Knights to arrive?
And yet where were the Cloud Knights when danger was at the door? From what I heard, it was a...
The Lafu's delves are big places. Besides, some of the troops were deployed to the Yao Qing's camp.
Young man, why don't we continue our previous contest?
You just want me to do all the work. You think I'm gonna grant endless requests for a criminal?
You go on ahead this time. We'll...
Why did you send him away?
It is of no importance. But you and I haven't had a decent contest in ages. Even after your rebirth, your moves and techniques haven't changed one bit.
When I move, it's
like you never forgot.
harder.
Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Later moonlight.
Come on already. What took you so long this time?
Don't get anxious, Imbibitor Lunae. We have all the time in the world.
Can't be.
The moon shines on the truth. This spear still recognizes you as its master. Imbibitor Lunae, do you know who crafted it for you?
It's believed me ever since my exile. I don't remember when I started wielding it.
What's in your prescription?
Merciful Medicus.
Who's next?
A miracle.
Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
In lunar flame. Later moonlight.
You can continue to convince yourself that you are merely the reincarnate, but you cannot run from combat, Dan Hung. Combat is like smelting. Those are the words of the one who made Cloudpiercer. Out of all of us, you were the closest to him.
I'd rather leave this world in a blaze than live until the end of time. I will let all of the Xianzhou know.
You still remember when he was but a child. He swore to take revenge on the abomination. When I first met him, he wasn't even as tall as my sword. But he was boasting about at first. I wasn't too fond of his defiant nature. But when we met again, he was able to craft weapons. Unfortunately, the Alliance would never allow a short-life species to run the Artisanship Commission.
You didn't go easy just so I would get here first, did you?
Of course not. Your technique must have improved so much that I simply...
So, are we here to commemorate your short-life species?
Eavesdropping is a bad habit. Besides, when did I ever say he was no longer...
Even the cryocapsules wouldn't be able to extend the life expectancy of a short-life species for long. If he is still alive, he must be ancient.
He transformed.
Correct. Such are the Some people are born with unparalleled foresight and exceptional intelligence. As smart as he was, he made the foolish attempt to use the flesh of the abundance emanate. His stupidity turned him into a monster, cursed with immortality. His soul was shattered and became the...
For an old friend, you don't seem to have that much pity.
I gave him a second chance. Does that not count?
What did you...
He should have been eternally jailed in the shackling prison for his crimes. But I gave him a different kind of freedom. I took the shell that once held his soul and passed my sword techniques on to him. I let him die 100 deaths to remind him of the karma of... We've idled too long. Let's head to the Alchemy Commission.
As a follower of the Rainbow Arbiter, you have witnessed the catastrophe brought upon by the plague's author, General. Living being, what do you think should be done to put an end to it?
The Alliance follows the Rainbow Arbiter's edict to continue ridding the world of evil, so that one...
Under the auspices of the Rainbow Arbiter, the faithful Cloud Knights continue the hunt. Their Take me, for example. My powers originate from the abundance, yet my goals are aligned with the Alliance. It is natural for short-life species to yearn for immortality. That is expected of any intelligent life form. To want to So, in order to sever Yaosher's curse, your master happened upon a revelation and returned from the Mara. She is... I apologize, General. I'm afraid the next move...
As I expected. Your surrender is just the next step in your scheme. You wish to avail yourself of the Ten Lords' decree to enter Shuling and stand before the sick... And... the purpose of the contents of...
General, you said it yourself. This is beyond your control.
Splendid, well done. This was a spectacular move.
You've changed, Jingyuan. The man I knew would never have admitted he was bested.
Already been restored to the Alchemy Commission. Why?
I heard the healer lady is capable of curing all diseases. I'm here for the same reason anyone would be. Patience, young man. We're not far from Scale Gorge water.
What a surprise!
Miss Bailu. She's here for a...
Oh, I see! Are you here for your eyes?
My eyes are fine. I cover them to avoid seeing that which reminds me of the past and riles my inner demons. My thoughts have been disordered lately.
Those symptoms don't who cares? The healers of the Alchemy Commission don't get to pick and choose their patients. Give me your hand. We'll start by checking your pulse. Your hand! It's free! Please wait. Danheng, can I speak to you? Your friend here has a very peculiar condition. Her pulse is extremely faint. Normally, this would...
She won't.
Let the healer make the professional diagnosis. Your friend's situation is unique. She looks healthy, but her hands are cold as ice. I've never seen anything like it. With more research, I might be able to make a new entry.
Today's her last day, on the Luofu.
Ah, what a shame. If she could stay for a few days, I might be... I'll do my best. No matter what I administer, she's gonna need to drink a ton of... Come with me. I'll prescribe her some soul-returning vitality infusion. It won't cure her, but I'm sorry. Ever since the disciples of Sanctus Medicus were Tanhung, you mind coming with me to retrieve my medicine?
Are you in trouble, Dragon Lady? I'll come along as well.
No. No trouble at all.
It's no bother. A little walk will do me good.
I can smell the herbs. It's around. Hey! Give me back my medicine box! That thing runs so fast! Don't let it get away! There's an even bigger monster protecting this one! When did so many creatures start visiting the alchemy?
Careful.
Allow me to eliminate these obstacles, Dragon Lady.
So this is why your hands are so cold! This is double speed.
Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
This cold isn't something normal flesh could withstand.
The lunar flame.
What's in your prescription?
Who's next?
Time for a fun.
Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Who's next?
All right, let me make sure nothing's missing. Excellent. The calming valerian and chi strengthening infusions are here. Let's head. Apologies again for the delay. This prescription won't cure you, but it will.
Very well. The fate of a long life.
You're Mara-struck? I don't see the symptoms in you at all. What with the incident on the Luofu, I've treated a number of Mara-stricken patients recently. You don't seem to have any of that.
I made a deal that allowed me to retain what life I had left in me. I may be sane, but one thing, and yet I still have many unfulfilled wishes.
I see. So you've learned to live with your illness. I can't help much with issues of the spirit, but the medical records do mention that calming the mind is a way to heal the body.
Really? How unfortunate. My hatred overshadows my other emotions. All I have left are the sword in my hand and my hatred. Oh, thank you for your advice, Dragon Lady. Meeting you has provided. By the way, among those you've treated in recent days.
Bandages? That's a vague description, you know. I'm not sure. We get injured patients from all over the Xianzhou for
The person I'm inquiring about is tall, with a serious expression. He also...
Oh, he must have suffered some kind of sword wound. He had a strong scent of blood. Though, from the way he behaved, it must have been fairly minor. He didn't even take the medicine
He's probably looking for it. Well then, it would seem that everything is in... Take this man away. This does not involve him.
Yanqing.
And so, everyone is present. I never thought the High Cloud Quintet. If I remember correctly, the 5 of us made a promise here 7 centuries ago. How sad that Scale Gorge waterscape remains empty while the world continues to turn. Some of us have been reborn, while others were denied death. Some have become criminals. Soon, I will be shackled and tried. This will be the last you see of me. This is why I sent out the invitations before departing. Of 5 people, 3 must pay a price. Imbibitor Lunae, the chief culprit, chose to use the transmutation arcanum as a means of resurrection, begetting terrible Ying Sing, the accomplice, arrogant and oblivious, used the flesh of the Abundance Emanator to assist Imbibitor Lunae in his evil. He fell, becoming an immortal. As for Jingliu, the sinner, she succumbed to Mara, slaughtered her people, and now it is time we pay for what we have done. Dan Heng, you can never escape the shadow of Imbibitor Lunae. He is your origin, and his sins will accompany you in your path forward. Blade, what a fitting name. In the remainder of your infinite life, you will experience only murder and your own death. And I will face the punishment of the Alliance and suffer an eternal punishment before paying an even worse price. That is the only way to keep the memory of the pain of the past. High Cloud Quintet, it is time to say a wineless gathering, accompanied by only sad Jingyuan. Is it not time you sent me to the
laws of the Alliance cannot be subject to change. I reported everything to the Marshal, and the Seer strategist just so happened to take an interest in the case. They set up a Deca-like reflection.
Jingyuan, you haven't changed at all, but in the end, whether it be you, me, the Cloud Knights, or the generals of the... no matter. I will deviate if you insist.
Then I shall see this gamble through.
Wait. Jingliu, before you leave, you still owe me my due.
I have tried. Besides inflicting more wounds on your body, the immortality that you possess is not something that can be dealt with so easily. I am sure Destiny's Slave already told you.
He did. But you still owe me the attempt.
I told you when I taught you the way of the sword. I am uninterested in drawing my blade against some...
You will only draw against an opponent. Jingliu, allow me to repay you for your tears. teachings.
Savor the moment. I will deliver you a brief moment of death. We were here once, 700 years ago. Laughing, sparring, and thinking about the future. Their faces still linger before my eyes, like a bygone dream. I thought those joyful days would flow indefinitely before us, like a Xianzhou lifetime. Yet, dreams will eventually fade like clouds from the sky.
A familiar feeling, almost as if we've returned to my first sword lesson. You used the sword Insing crafted, and pierced, sliced, and impaled me time and time again. The swordplay used to slay our enemies of old is still engraved on this despicable shell. All I can do is watch my flesh become severed, healed, and restored. It's as if they're saying, Why did you and Imbibitor Lunae commit? I know that you have no interest in my answer, which is why I asked the question as you looked me straight in the eye. I've asked why? Why is it that only the abominations can return time and time again? Why does someone like her have to be buried, burned to ash, and eventually forgotten? In the end, you unleashed the final piercing blow and left both me and the sword. And the miraculous thing is that in my brief moment of death, like when we drank to drown our sorrows,
Imbibitor Lunae, what do you...
I haven't decided how I should.
The Express won't be able to carry you forever. Your friends... I did think about giving up on revenge and letting go of everything when I fled the Luofu years ago. However, as time passed, the memories of what I did when I was Mara-struck are deeply rooted. Maybe when I witness the fall of the abundance,
She's gone. All this must have seemed like a silly performance to someone newly reborn. But I am unable to prevent my old friends. Who you are is a question that only you can find. Even if the Preceptor's interference denied you. Yes. It has been a long day for you.
Dunhung, the General wants me to forget about everything I saw. I understand. These disputes are far too complicated for me. I have some close friends of my own in the Cloud Knights. will we fall out the way you guys? Goodbye for now, Dunhung. I hope the next time we meet.
She couldn't do it with her sword either. She still couldn't do it. We have no choice but to continue the pursuit. This is the price, the two of us.
I will see it through.
Elio's script still requires you to stay alive. I don't mind prolonging my vengeance. It might be more interesting that way.
Oh, back so soon?